There you go.
Good morning, everybody. Before we get started, I want to know who the I Make Deals in Heels is.
It's me, Gina Smith. Hi.
I love that. That's awesome.
I can't picture myself because I just had my tooth pulled yesterday. I look like an old movie with the ice pack around my head.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, jumping right in. We're going to do quite a bit of things in the next 3 weeks. So I'm going to start with, how many of you think that if I walked into your open house and I said, I really need to buy a house this weekend, that you could do a buyer's presentation and you could take me out and show me property? How many of you think you could do that? By show of hands. Okay. Or what if I said, I need to buy a house in a weekend, and I need you to put my house on the market, get it listed and get it sold because I'm moving to Chicago? How many of you could do that? Do that listing presentation, put it on the market. Okay. So what I really have been noticing lately, and George and I were talking about last week, which is why I decided to do this, is that you guys have been studying and you've been learning, but you're not doing. And so the only way you're going to make any money is to do. And I don't know why that it is. I don't know if it's fear. I don't know if it's you just aren't confident enough to do it. But I'm just going to remind you that every profession has a ramp up, right? And when a person goes into medical school, they don't get all of that learning in their head and then go out and do brain surgery, right? They watch people, they do things, they move up, they get more talented, they get more skilled, and that's what you need to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to do in the next 3 weeks, we're going to do a 3-week challenge to start you on this quarter. This is really the most profitable quarter in our year here in Florida. Between July, August, and September are our highest sales months. So in most places, if you live in, Siesta Key or some of the areas that's strictly all vacation rental, that's different. But for most of us, it's this next 3 months. So you need to start taking advantage of that. So I'm going to start with, how do you get your clients? You have to do lead generation, right? That's the key to it. So there's this little book. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? It's called 101 Ways to Lead Generate in Real Estate. It is by Gene Frederick. Gene is from EXP. He wrote this little book. I want you to see how big it is. See how little this is? We're going to go through this in the next couple of weeks. But if you want to buy it, it's $9.99 on Amazon. And it's simple, you guys, but it's keeping it top of mind that you're going to do lead generation. Sorry, allergies. So we're going to get started. And the first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to read you 101 different ways that you can lead generate. And then we're going to talk about each one of them as we go through them. And for those of you that have done them, I would really appreciate it if you would come off mute and talk about how it worked for you. So the first one he has here. Now, the reason he wrote this book, he said, is that somebody said, how do you lead generate? And he said he picked up a piece of paper and a pencil and started writing down different ways to lead generate. And they just blew their mind. And so he said, well, I'll just put it in a book. So that's what he did. And he said, it's fine for us to share this with you. So the first one is garage and estate sales. And let me just read you what it says here. A great buddy of mine by the name of Tommy Thompson, an agent out of Plano, Texas, pulled 17 sales in 1 year just from this source. People having these kind of sales are typically doing it for a reason. Find out what it is. Not just the people selling either. Follow the group of cars that go from garage sale to garage sale and talk to the people buying. They buy and sell houses too. So what do you guys think about going to garage and estate sales? Are you too good to do that? Or is this something that you could do?
I think it's amazing. I have 2 people in my database that I'm actually 3 that I'm nurturing on my street. from it was garage sales. The neighbors had coordinated with the other neighbors across the street, and it was just the two of them. And I remember going up and joking like, hey, did I miss the flyer for the neighborhood garage sale? And they were like, oh no, we do this every once in a while, we coordinate, blah blah blah. And I have 2 seller leads and a buyer lead from just doing 2 garage sales that happened to be right across the street from each other. And they were the homeowners, and then the homeowner's son, who is getting divorced, needs to buy. But I'm nurturing all 3.
So anybody else have done this or thinks they could do this? So let's talk just a little bit about why you would do this. How many of you have moved and had a garage sale? Or thinking about moving and have a garage sale to get started? Yeah. And people that are moving, they probably already have an agent, they probably already have the house listed or thinking about listing the house, but they also are talking about moving, and they're talking about selling. What does that do? That means that other people they're talking about, it's top of mind. Those people don't think about that. So if you get into a conversation with them, you very well may walk away with a couple of friends or neighbors they know that also are thinking about moving, particularly if you're like Tim and you live in an area that a lot of people come and go because of the military. So actually one of the first agent I recruited at EXP, she's a brand new baby agent, and she took Saturdays when she didn't have an open house, and she just went to garage sales in key to think keep in your mouth, in good neighborhoods where people have homes that are worth your time. I know that sounds really mean, but it isn't. You really want to go to where the properties are that you want to sell. Chris is laughing at me. Okay, stop. Literally, this is your time, guys. So stop me, ask me any questions you have, and put in any information that you have. The more we can share, the better off.
Question.
Yep.
What would be the conversation, would you say?
Hey, you're selling, you're doing a garage sale. Wow. Are you moving, or are you just getting rid of things? My name's Ted. I'm an agent here, and I'm always looking for new clients. So thought I'd stop in and see what's going on over here. It's not hard. Have you ever gone to garage sale?
I have just basically browsing, where I guess I should be more assertive.
More focused, right?
More focused, right. That's
Because you talk to them, right? When you go in there, you talk to them.
yes.
And so, it's just natural that most of us want to know why. Why are you selling? Now, if they have a bunch of clothes out front, don't stop, because they're not moving or whatever, But if they have things that they have their George Foreman out there, and they have their little wine fridge and all of those things sitting out there, they're moving. And so, so people are going to stop, and you want to talk to them. Hey, and by the way, I'm a realtor, and I'm out prospecting, looking for new clients. Here's my card. Don't be shy.
DJ,
Here's the best advice I can give you all day. Don't be shy. Somebody else have one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Hi, good morning. This is Curl. I had an estate sale this past weekend. My mother-in-law passed, so I'm getting ready to list her house. And I had 2 agents that came in with their card approaching me. So yeah, it definitely works.
Yeah. Okay, next one. And I will tell you as we go along, I never thought of this one. Car dealers. Stop in and meet the car salesman in your neighborhood, in your area, because they're already accustomed. They're salespeople. They refer people all the time, and they most likely don't have a realtor that they are going to be referring to. People come in, they buy new cars, they've left someplace, they coming here, they're going to rent for a week, a month, a year. but they are going to need a realtor. So, and give them a simple script. This is what it says. I know the best real estate agent in town. Here's their card. That's all they have to say. Make it easy on them. But I mean, I don't know about you, but car dealers are not shy, right? They ask a lot of questions. Another one he has is furniture sales. So when you bought your last house or you bought your last furniture, did you drag your significant other around looking for furniture, or did you go and just buy it yourself? Usually it's both of you that are going there. Well, this is what he says. Yeah, so does everyone else. So if you're going into a furniture store, a high-end furniture store, or rooms to go, whatever, walk around, take a look, talk to people, pass out your cards. Now, this next one I'm going to tell you, this I've seen people do. Airlines. Two things with airlines. One is when you're flying, sidebar, get some shirts made with your logo on it. Whatever your logo is, if you're part of my group and you're the success group, or your Tim's group and you get he's got a logo, all of you should have a logo. Get shirts made with a logo. And when you're taking a trip, wear your shirt. When you're sitting next to somebody, are you going to Austin for business or are you headed home? And they'll start talking. Now, if you're like me, I hate to talk on the airplane. So this forces me way out of my comfort zone to talk to anybody on the airplane. But think about that. Either way, whether they're going home or they're traveling somewhere, strikes up a conversation. The other thing is somebody from one of my offices found out where the international flights were coming in to Tampa and Orlando or whatever, Miami, wherever you're located. And they would go down and have lunch and meet people that were traveling in from the international convoys, whatever, anyway, where they're coming in there. Local schools. Number 5, local schools. How many of you have kids in school? Okay, so volunteer and be a part of the events. Every school I've ever been involved with wants volunteers, needs volunteers. If you're not volunteering at school, you're missing out. One, you're missing out having time with your kids, but 2, or if you have grandkids that you're lucky enough to be close to, volunteer. You're getting to spend time with the kids, but you're also meeting other parents. And believe me, as somebody that my kids are all grown, once you get past that time, you are never going to meet just by being around as many people as you will during the time that they are in school. So go out and meet people that have kids your age and that are in the opportunity, give you the opportunity to talk to them about real estate. And, is there still PTA? Are there still PTAs around? Okay. Join the PTA. You don't have to be the president, but join the PTA. That's the people that gets things done and the people that know people. So join the PTA. You have to put yourself out there, people. Join the booster club. Join the band booster club, the choir booster club, your local sports booster club. You see, all of those places have to do with kids, and they get you involved with your children's activities, and they put you in front of people that are going to trust you immediately because you're part of their school. So get out there and do things with your kids. And now, following up on that, teachers and principals. There are loans that are specifically made for teachers and principal, anybody in the educational, system. Talk to your lender, find out what those loans are, and get in touch with these people. Offer, and I know agents have done this often, offer to come into the school at lunchtime one time, or when they're having a parent-teacher conference, or they're having a special teacher's day with training, offer to come in and talk to them about how they can purchase homes at a discount, how they can get better loans, take your lender with them, and how you're willing to help them find homes. It's difficult when you're a teacher. You don't make a lot of money, and you may have a significant other that does. I don't know about that. But if you're two teachers, you don't make a lot of money, and you do want to own a home. So get out and talk to them. Now, this next one, if you live in an HOA, how many of you live in an area that has an HOA? Don't become president of the group, but join. If you become president, you're going to work way too much, but join and join the welcoming committee or their outreach committee and get involved with that. Get involved with the activities of your HOA. And if there aren't any HOA activities, think about setting up something. I'm thinking about getting like an A-frame sign and putting it out in my yard on Wednesdays and say, Wine Down Wednesday, come in, bring your wine, come on over. Because I don't know any of my neighbors either. I just moved in. But get involved with your HOA. Everybody that is in my group knows this. I keep telling you, if you do any sport, join a club. I don't care if you bicycle. I don't care if you play tennis. I don't care if you golf. I don't care if you play softball. I don't care what it is. Don't just do it with a friend. Join a club. Those are people that have similar likes and dislikes that you do, and you're going to get to know them and build a relationship. And then he says, this is funny. He said, the Austin Ski Club doesn't get a lot of snow down here, but we have a ski club. They pretty much get together and drink. But if that's your thing, leads are to be had. So think about what clubs can you join that you like to. Don't join, if you don't like to play bridge, don't join a bridge club. If you're not, if you don't play tennis, don't join a tennis club. And I've said this often. When you go to the gym or get your t-shirts branded, put something on the back of your shirt that says, I'm a realtor, ask me real estate questions. Anything to do with something that causes them to come in and look at your shirt over and over and over again. And eventually somebody's going to say something to you, because why? Most people are interested in real estate. Use whatever you can to get people to come up to you. If you don't like making that first move, find something that gets them to come up to you. Mateo says, I always use my shirt. Good job. Can you have your shirt on, Mateo? He's not going to answer me. Okay, so country clubs. This, in my opinion, is the number one way to reach the high-end market. Okay. Oh, wow. Mateo just says this.
I'm
Not
sorry.
only that, there he
sorry.
is.
I was just texting when you asked the question. Yes, absolutely. So not only I wear my shirt most of the time when I go to the gym, I started giving the shirt to the people that I see that are always there, right? So they are always there. They never miss a day at the gym. So, and I want that publicity and I want to make friends with them. So some days you will see 2 or 3 shirts with Mateo Reza Realtor on the gym. Mm-hmm.
So what does your shirt say?
My shirts say, buy, sell, invest, repeat. And then on the bottom it says, and also you can work out. It's usually like I exchanged the sleep, train, diet, repeat, saying that gym people have on their shirts. I replaced it with real estate related things. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you. That's
And it
awesome.
has my name. It has my name and my phone number and EXP logo and everything.
Where did you get them made?
I have a company, actually co-owner of Novely Designs, and we made the custom shirts. Yeah, ourselves.
Wow. Would you be willing to share that information?
Absolutely, they are. I will put a picture in the description box, and they are really affordable. These shirts are not made like super fancy shirts. These are everyday use shirts. They are affordable. They have your logo. They are for you to give it away to everyone that you have, like in your pipeline, your clients, everyone that you want a little bit of publicity, right, on the street and your name and brand recognition.
Wow. Okay, you'll put it in the chat box?
So what I will do, I would put everything in the chat box so you guys have that information.
You're awesome. That's great. So country clubs, even if you don't live in a place that has a country club, most of them are open for you to go in to the restaurant or to the bar. So go in and get to know the staff. Get to know the staff and let them know who you are. Give them your cards. And have any of you ever gone into a store or a car dealership or a car repair place, and they have a board on the wall that has cards in there, business cards in there? If you have seen those and your card's not in there, shame on you. If you see those places, go right back out to your car, get a stack of cards, come in and say, do you have a spot for a really good realtor? And this is who I am. Introduce yourself, put your cards out there. You do not know who is going to see that card and say, oh, I just moved here from California and I don't have a clue. We're renting for a year. I'm not sure what we're going to do, but I don't know who to call. Oh, there's a realtor card. Get your cards out. I will tell you that I got a listing one time because somebody found my card in her shrub. Somehow the other, somebody must have opened their mail and had my card in there. The wind took it. It was sticking in her shrub. She picked it up and listed her home with me. Now that's weird, but you never know where a card's going to come. It's where it's going to end up. So put your cards out there. If you are in an apartment, live in an apartment, take advantage of that and go to the pool. That's where you're going to meet people. And a lot of those people that are living in apartments now are looking for homes. And he says, give away floats with your name on it. Anytime you go to the beach, anytime you go to the pool, anytime you go any place where there's water and there are kids, have some have some floats made, the little, what do you call them? The little tubes things, and have them branded and give them away. But if you're at the pool often, you're going to meet people and you're going to start talking to them. My goal here with these 101 things are to get you talking to the people that you see all the time and you don't talk to. You just walk right past them. And a large percentage of those people are looking to buy or sell or invest. If you live in a smaller city, I guess a bigger city too, and their holiday celebrations. We lived in a little town outside of Austin that had a parade for every single holiday you could possibly think of, and they made up their own. And so if you got involved in being on the floats or baking the floats or working on a concession stand or whatever, believe me, you met a lot of people doing that. So that's number 17. 18, Whole Foods. He says, yes, the store. This is an almost cultish environment, but once you're in, you're in. Go, shop, eat, drink coffee, and wear your brand. Become one of them, one of us, and people are going to start asking you questions. So now that could also be said for Starbucks, right? It could be said for coffee shops anywhere. It could be said for if there's a local diner in your area that people like to attend. Go, eat, drink coffee, have your logo shirt on. And number 19 is one that I have seen work so, so very well. And it's, if you're a person that feels best giving back as well as growing your business, think about nursing homes and assisted living places. This 1.3 million or 14.5% of the US population is over 65 and is expected to be 46.5 million by 2040. Most will have property that needs to be sold. So anytime you can get in front of a seniors group and talk about selling real estate, investing real estate, buying real estate. First of all, a lot of us over 65 are going to be willing, we're still buying and selling, but some of them also have older parents that are going into assisted living and they need to sell that property. Put together a workshop of how you can help them, Find somebody does those auctions, those garage sale things, what'd you call them? Estate sales. Find somebody that does clean out. Find somebody that, will help with clean up, all of those things, so that you go in and you talk about, this is what I do, and this is my partner. This is my team, and this is what we do for seniors that are moving into assisted living. They're downsizing. They may be taking just a small amount of their furniture and their artwork and all of that. So they need a place to get rid of all of that. And chances are they don't have a clue where to go. So be of value and go in and talk to people. Find somebody that is a organizational expert, and they're out there all over the place, that are willing to come in and organize and help people downsize. So I really think that's a great idea. You're going to run into a lot of people. And if you find somebody, a place that's doing workshops for older people, then go in and do that as well. I wonder if you could team up with one of those attorneys that keeps sending me those things to come in and do trust workshops. Okay, number 20. Anybody have anything to say? Come on, it's halfway through. Not very many people talked. Anybody have anything to say?
I'll add something about the assisted living facilities.
Okay.
It just was coincidental, but we had to find a place for my mother-in-law. And so we were shopping around and we started to talk to them, and you don't even have to do a workshop if that's not something you're comfortable with. We just talked to them and said, would you be willing to work with us and partner with us? Because we have people that are needing a place for their parents or grandparents, and people that are moving in that need a place to sell. And so she said, absolutely. So we are partnering with her. So, we kind of have a deal where if we meet people that are looking for a place for their parents or grandparents, we kind of head them that way and vice versa. And we never did a workshop or anything. We just talked to them.
Yay. Congratulations. That's awesome. And part of it becomes that fear that we're going to be pushy, or that they're going to think we're, I don't know, a used car salesman or something. But like Heather just said, they need you. They don't have anybody to refer to. And that makes them more valuable if they have a quality person that they can refer to, that they can trust. So yes, go out and do that. Number 20, poker, bunco parties, pickleball, go out and wear your brand. So again, taking it a step further from your sports, do you like to play poker? Do you like to play cards? Do you like to play bunco? Do you like to do pickleball? Get a shirt and wear your brand and go out and meet people. Just get out of the house. College alumni associations. Most of us have attended some college, if not graduated, and and have alumni associations that we could go to. What he says is you do not have to have graduated to go to these events. Go, share your passion for their college, wear your brand, and network. Again, you're putting yourself in front of people that have the money to buy, to invest, to sell. And if they're selling, they move on. They need you in all those three categories. So you have something in common with them already. You've gone to that same school, and people are going to talk to you at one of those events. Next one, 22, single organizations. If you're single, join a singles group. I know that's kind of creepy sometimes, but go ahead and join a singles group and get involved. You never know. This one, I don't know that it works so well for us, but local cleaners, no more drive-through, get out, go in and make sure they know who you are. And if they have one of those boards, put your cards in the boards. If you're standing there waiting to pick up your dry cleaning and you're looking around trying to do something, then they may pick up your card. When we talked about coffee shops again, he's got that separate 24. Do not drive through another another coffee shop. Do not drive through Starbucks. Get out, go in with your shirt on, put your brand on your laptop, sit down there and work where everybody can see. He says, a little trick I enjoy to do is to buy a $25 gift card and tell the cashier to pay for everyone's coffee behind me until it runs out. If they want to say thanks, I'll be sitting over there. That was pretty cool. And it doesn't have to be $25. It could be $10, right? Here's $10. Pay for everybody's coffee behind me until it runs out and tell them I'll be sitting over there if they want to say thanks. Pretty cool. Doctors, wear your brand and go get your checkups. Wear your brand, because doctors are people too, and they buy houses too, and their doctor's loans that they need to know about. So if you have your brand on and the doctor says, hey, I didn't know you sold real estate. Yeah, I do. So there you go. Oh, Heather, good idea. Don't do self-checkout either. Find the bag line, the longest line to the store and chat. Good idea. 26 is place of worship. Don't be shy. I'm not telling you to leverage your faith to get leads. That would be wrong, but don't be shy and make sure they know what you do and that you do it well. Your personal hobby. Do you have a hobby? Like, I know Tim's wife does woodworking. Now, if he could get her out to network and to give his cards out to the people that, if she joined a woodworking group. But if you have a hobby, think about that as well. Again, wear your shirt. You don't have to walk in with a sign on your head that says, I sell real estate and not shut up, blah, 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 blah. Don't do that. But if you have a shirt on, people are going to say, oh, I didn't know you sold real estate. I promise you, if you get those shirts and you walk around, people people you think you've told are going to say, really, I didn't know you sold real estate. Get those shirts made. Or whatever else you're in, whatever, blouses, whatever. Door knocking. This is what he said. I lived in a high income neighborhood in West Austin for 5 years, and not a single agent knocked on my door to ask me if I wanted to buy. Isn't that interesting? So think about it. Go out when you're doing open houses. If you are not doing the 10 on one side, 10 on the other, 20 across the street, you are losing out. And another tip I'll give you for open houses is if it's your listing, hold it open every weekend and go out and walk the neighborhood every weekend. If it's not your listing and you're doing it for someone else, ask that listing agent if you can hold it open every weekend until it sells, and then go out and walk the neighborhood every weekend before that. Because why? That the more they see you, the more they trust you. So if you're there one time, they're not remember you. If you're there 2 times, they might remember you. By the time you're there 3 times and you knocked on their door and so say, I'm holding the house down the street open, just want to let you know that again. And now they're probably going to say, you know what, I lost your card. Do you want to give me that again? Or, you know what, I really do have a friend that's coming into town and is thinking about buying. Can you give me another card? You they have to get to see you more than once in order for you to get leads. You have to knock on that same door more than once before you're going to get a lead, unless you're really lucky.
Yeah, that was my question.
Yep.
Okay, I've done the open house. I do it regular. I really like it. But when you go ahead and you do the 10 on one side, 10 on the other, 20 across the street, do you continuously knock on their door each weekend? That's the part that after I do it once, I really don't I do the weekend after weekend after weekend, but
Yeah.
after I knock on their door one time, I don't go back and knock again. I just kind of stay in the neighborhood and they say, "Oh, you're back again." But that's my question. Do you knock on their door 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
And let me give you the simplest script in the world. Okay. So the first time, hey, this is Ted. I'm holding this house down the street open. Wanted to let you know that there might be a lot of people here. They might park in front of your driveway. Here's my card. If anybody does, or you need anything, if you have any problems with anybody that's there, call me and I'll take care of it. And that's it. Then next time you go, hey, it's me again. I'm holding the house open. I don't know if you lost my card. Here's another card. And if anybody parks and you need me, call me. Third time, hey, it's me, Ted again. I'm holding the house open again. Remember, give me a call if you need anything. By the way, do you know anybody that wants to buy or sell in this neighborhood? I love working here. That's it. Simple, easy, but the more people see your face, the more they trust you. And so get out and do it more than once. Do it once, good luck. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And I guess a lot of things go through my head, and I really didn't want to be a bugaboo, so to speak. Okay, you was here last week. Okay, I know, I see the sign. But the way you put it, it makes it, the flow feels good doing it that way.
Because it's all about them. It's always all about them. It's not about you. It's because you're concerned that somebody's going to park in front of their driveway, or you're concerned that they're not going to be able to get in, or they're concerned their friends are not going to be able to come over, so it has to be all about them. And then you can come and talk to them as many times as you want to. You made a friend. And at the third time, you can actually even say, hey, I do a monthly work update on this neighborhood, and I send it out to my clients here. Would you like to be on my email list and receive the neighborhood updates? And by the time they won't give it to you the first time, but by the third time, they'll give it to you. They'll give you their email address, and then they go in your database. I promise it works. And number 29, cold calling, FSBOs, expireds. If you want to do that, there are tons of books out there that tell you how to do it and the best ways to do it. I've never done that. I'm not here to tell you how to do it. I would not have a clue how to do that, but there are lots and lots of books out there that will tell you how to do it. And you hear that over and over again, that people have made their business on cold calling and expireds. So do we have anybody on the call that knows about cold calling and expireds that wants to share anything? Yeah, okay. Number 30 is, it's too friggin' hot to walk outside. And if you like to walk, is there a neighborhood? Is there a mall close to you? Is there a indoor shopping area close to you? Someplace that you can go walk and get your exercise in and talk to the businesses as you go in. People don't think about talking to businesses. If you're going down through the mall and you're going into each store and you're introducing yourself and saying, I'm a local realtor and I am looking to build my business, thought I would just drop by and say, would you like to have some of my cards? So if anybody comes in and says they're new and they're talking about real estate, you can hand it out. Or are you interested? You never know. So it's something to think about. The next two, I will tell you, do work so well if you have an interest. And one is horse shows and one is car shows. If you are a car buff or you are really into horses, then make sure that you go to all the shows that are around you. Go and talk to people. They're talking about something that you like. One of my agents in Phoenix, she and her husband what do you call, old car buffs. They had all these vintage cars. And so she started going to car shows, got to the point where she never did anything else except cars shows. And so because the people that she met there was people she had something in common with, and she knew what they wanted. You know, for example, people with cars, they don't really care about the house. They want to know, how big's the garage? How much land do I have? Horse people, they care about what horses, right? They care about, can they, you know, how many can they keep on their property? How big is the property? What's the zoning around it? So if you know, if those are your interests, then take advantage of it. If you're in the hospital, if you're visiting somebody in the hospital, or you go to the hospital, darn it, take your cards. You know, you never know who you're going to run into. Horse show, Chris, you're welcome. Local ice cream stores. If you take your kids to get ice cream at a Dairy Queen or whatever your local ice cream store is, make sure you go to the same place often and get to know the people behind the counter. Let them know what you do. The 35 is Goodwill. The people at the Goodwill store, they see people coming in and out all the time. And they usually do have a card rack for you to put your cards in. This is funny. He says, nail salons. I have no idea what goes on in a nail salon, but what I do know is that they make great referral sources. Here's what one of his lady realtors did. She offered to sponsor a drop your card in the fishbowl for a chance to win a gift card for this salon, weekly giveaway, and bring out and build out your database. So why not? Why not offer a $25 gift card or a $10 Starbucks card at your salon, at nail salon, either haircut or nail salon. And when they win, you get to contact them, you get to give them the card, and you get to know somebody else, and you're building your database. Plus, you have all of their names and emails in the bowl that you can add to your database and introduce yourself through the database, through the email.
Can I add to that, DJ?
Yes, ma'am.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we all need to get pedicures. And if you have a script or role-playing partner, here's a great tip that I do when I'm getting a pedicure done. Make sure that you're texting your partner and tell them what time to give you a call. And when they're giving you a call, make sure that they are playing as the seller and you are playing as the pre-listing consultant, and have that conversation so everyone can hear it. I can assure you that each time that I go and get my pedicure done, we are receiving leads, seller leads and buying leads, because they're hearing your conversation with people. They're taking awareness of how you are treating people, and it allows them to see, without you passing out your card, and developing that momentum, that you do real estate. And they may like you, they may not like you. However, you're showing what you're worth. You're getting your script and role play done, and you're winning leads all day long.
That's true. Absolutely. A couple of years back, I was actually getting a pedicure with the owner of the real estate company, and we were just sitting there chatting, and the guy that was doing her feet said, "Are you guys in real estate?" And we said yes, and he said, "I need to buy a building. This place, I don't like renting. I need to buy a building, and my wife and I need to buy a house because our daughter's moving back in." She got an office building and a sale, the listing, through just because we were talking about real estate. So yeah. Golf courses. Those of you that golf, oh my gosh, please take advantage of that. Go out and golf at least one day a week. Don't go with your friends. Go and join a foursome so that you get to meet new people. If you can add 3 people to your database from the golf course every week, how fast is your database going to grow? and it's people that can afford to play golf. So golf is amazing. Banks, don't go through the drive-in, go in. If you're like me, you know the tellers, you say, hi, what are you doing? When are you going on vacation? Blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. Get to know them and tell them wear your logo, and then tell them what you do. Because particularly the people that are at the teller windows, they hear people buying and selling all the time, talking about real estate. And to finish up this chapter, we have 40, which is gas stations. Personally, I don't think anybody at gas stations, you can even meet anybody there, but whatever. And 41 is local classes that you're interested in. If you do yoga, if you do pole dancing, if you do whatever it is that you do, if you there's like shaking your I don't care what you do, but if you like to do something, join a class and go and meet the people in there. And don't go and just exercise. Don't go to the gym and just exercise and keep your head down. Talk to people. So that's chapter 1 of our little book. Next week, we'll go into chapter 2. But right now, what I'm going to tell you is about the 12-week challenge. So I'm going to challenge you to take at least 3 of the things, one thing that we talked about today, and then next week, another thing that we talk about from that group. And then on the 3rd week, you're going to choose another thing from that. And I'm going to share this. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to share this with you. And if you want it, I'm going to give it to Tiff after this, and she can put it in for you. So can you all see my screen? Yes, no? Okay. All right. So you're going to say, here are my top 3 forms of lead generation. Let me move this over here so I can see it. And over on the next, then column B, list 3 activities that you can do for each lead gen form.
Hey,
So-
DJ.
Yep.
When you change to the different view, now
I
we
did.
see your Zoom screen. There we go. There we go.
Okay, sorry,
Okay.
then I'm gonna look over here. Okay, so list 3 activities that you can do for this lead form generation. So let's say that you said, I'm gonna golf. Okay, so 3 activities you can do. You can play golf. I'm gonna play golf 3 times a week. I'm gonna click 3 weeks a month. I'm gonna do whatever that is. How many hours a day are you going to commit to this activity? And from something that I heard yesterday is we don't plan to do what we're going to do. So if I say I'm going to play golf, I have to know that it's going to take me this long to drive there. I'm going to play golf. Maybe I'll have lunch, and then I'm going to drive home. That's a section of time that it takes out of your day. It's not just playing golf. I went somewhere the other day and forgot to put into my schedule the drive time, and I was late for my doctor's appointment. So think about how many hours is this going to take you, and then put that together your game plan. In other words, put it on your calendar. What am I going to do? Where am I going to be? How's that going to work? And then what's my ultimate goal for each activity? So let's say it is playing golf. Then my ultimate goal would be to get 4 new leads every time I play golf with 3 new people, right? 3 leads, 3 new people. Now, if you hate one of them, you get 2, that's fine. But put together, we're going to talk about by the end of this next 3 weeks, the next 3 weeks, we're going to have you down here with 3 forms of lead generation, the activities you have to do for each lead gen form, how many hours you're going to commit to that, the game plan for each activity, and the ultimate goal for each of these activities. Then I want you to go down here to the accountability sheet, and week 1, I want you to tell me from these up here what your goal is, how many activities were you going to have, what your goal is, how many you actually did, how many successes you had, and what lessons that you learned. So if your goal was to spend, 5 hours a day lead generating, 2 hours a day lead generating, then what is that? Maybe I need to add, what is the activity here? But I'll fix that. So what's the activity? And then what's your goal? What's the actuals? What are the successes and lessons learned? The only way this will work, guys, is if you keep, let me stop the sharing, is if you're accountable for your activities. All this thing, we can do this. You can get the great book. You can read the book. You can come up with things to do. But like Tim says, everybody's great at planning, but it's the action you have to do. How many hours are you going to spend on this one thing? You already have other things that you're doing. Hopefully you've already got some other things in action, but what is going to get you out of the house and get you some activity? Not in 6 months, not in a year, but what's going to get somebody to talk to you about real estate this week? Well, maybe next week. Over the weekend, are you holding an open house? What are you doing at that open house that is getting you leads? I talked with an experienced agent the other day, and I said, what do you say when somebody walks into open house? And this is genius, you guys. Please pay attention to this. This is what he said. He says, hey, my name's Ken. Welcome here. Hey, are you looking for yourself, or are you just looking around to get ideas? No, that's not the first one. That's the second thing. The first thing he says, are you alone, or is your agent coming to meet you here? What does that do if you say, are you alone, or is your agent coming to meet you here? Somebody tell me, what does that give you? What information do you get?
A buyer who doesn't have an agent.
You know immediately if they have an agent, right? Because they're going to say, oh, no, she's not here with me today, or no, I don't have an agent. So immediately you know that. Second thing is, are you looking for yourself, or are you looking for a friend? Or are you just looking for ideas? Now you know, are they really looking, or are they just, some people just like to go to open houses and they just wander through. But now you know, are they interested or not? So that's just a side. Sorry, that just popped in my head. But okay, so we're going to do the accountability, and you can fill out the forms. And every week I'm going to ask you to tell me, not to everybody, but just to tell me, just by a show of hands or whatever, how many of you have filled out the form, how many of you are working on the form, and how many of you are doing what you said that you were going to do. You have to be accountable. And I keep saying this over and over again, find an accountability partner. And if you are sitting there waiting for somebody to call you or to email you or to text you, shame on you. Goodness gracious, take the initiative. If you like, if you like Claire, or if you like Natalie, or if you like Tim, or if you like Chris or Orlando, or any of these people, or Ted or Tiffany or Chris, reach out to them and say, will you be my accountability partner? All I want to do is tell you what I'm going to do this week. And I'm going to tell you if I did it next week when we talk. Take 15 minutes. That's it. If you want me to be your accountability partner, I will do that for you too. Every one of us, I have a coach. Every one of us needs an accountability partner. So you don't do, it's so easy to get sidetracked, right? How many of you get sidetracked? And how many of you stay focused for a 3-hour period? Not many of us. Unless you know that, like my accountability partner is Curtis. Those of you that know Curtis know that, I better be accountable. I better have a reason for what I did and know that why I didn't do what I was supposed to do. And I do the same for him. So we need to be accountable to someone. So choose an accountability partner, have an accountability partner by next week. And I have 3 minutes left. So questions? Concerns? Did you learn anything? Did you learn anything that you'll take advantage of?
I did.
Which is, tell me.
It's like you're speaking directly to me. I'm a little shy. I'm always in the shadows. I'm always, the wallflower. And this year, I made the decision for the first time to join the PTA. So
And-
thank you for confirming what I already decided, at least one of them.
Good for
That's
you.
one. That's one. I was approached also to teach a class for kids at church. At first, I said no, of course, but you're speaking to me, and I'm going to say yes.
Yay, good job.
So thank you.
Yes. It is really, you don't have to go out and be, like Joe Cool or the life of the party. You just have to get in front of people to let them know that you're genuine and that they can trust you with their real estate as well as anything else. So quit thinking we talk a lot about a few things like door knocking and open houses and cold calling, but there's so many more things, at least 101, and that you can do that puts you out in front of people that you like. And I always tell people when you're starting this business, wow, it's your business. You don't have to work with people you don't like. You don't have to stay any place you don't want to be. You can choose your market, you can choose your person, and you can choose the type of person you want to work with. You can choose the things they do. People like to be around people that like the same things they do. So by you doing that, the PTA and your church group, you're being around people that like you and are like you, and they're going to trust you. And if you get your shirt with a logo on it, then, or you have a scarf, or you have something on your purse, something that says that you're in real estate without being like flashing. Don't get a neon sign, but something that just says you're an eXp realtor. That's all you have to do. And people will ask you questions. Jeff, how are we doing for time?
You guys are doing great for time. We just want to make sure that we're respectful of your schedule as well, because it is 9:30. Some of our
Oh.
hosts do have calls shortly after our
Okay.
one, but we are good on time.
Okay, so let's cut off the video. And